Many of us have been told that if we have ambition or if we have big goals, big dreams, big aspirations, that we should not be feminine, or we get this feeling like it's implied that being feminine means that we will not be able to acquire our goals and have our goals and reach the life that we most desire. There's been so much content as of late, though, that has basically proven the fact that feminine energy is a proven way to actually acquire the life of your dreams. So a little background about me. I went to college and got a bachelor's degree in accounting and finance. And during my time at college, I was under the impression that if I wanted to be successful and if I wanted to really reach the height of life and be wealthy, successful, respected, seen as capable and intelligent, if I wanted those things, then I had to basically put on this show of I'm tough, I don't need anybody, I'm unemotional, I'm basically a wall. I'm a stone wall, I'm masculine. I can be one of the guys. I can hang with the guys. I don't cry, I don't bend under pressure, I don't break under pressure. I am tough. I'm tough. That was what I believed I had to be in order to actually see the success that I most desired. What ended up happening, despite all of my efforts and despite all of my trying, despite all of my striving and just I worked so hard. I was exhausted in college. Despite all of that, I was not succeeding in my classes. I was not succeeding in relationships. I was not succeeding in building the respect that I thought that being a masculine version of myself, being a tough version of myself, I was not achieving the respect that I believed I would actually gain from behaving the way that I was behaving. I really want to communicate why feminine energy allows you to be so successful, because you, I'm going to assume, are a lot like me and a lot like I was during my college years and after college. You have this feeling that it's like, I want to be feminine, but I feel like I can't because I feel like I'm not going to be successful if I am feminine. I feel like people are going to laugh at me, they're going to think I'm weak, and I feel like I'm never going to achieve anything because I'm just this blubbering woman, okay? That is not what feminine energy is at all. I want to put that out there right away. That's not what it is at all. And I want to communicate to you how important it is for you to have feminine energy, okay? Feminine energy does not mean that you're walking around campus, you're walking around town in your pink dress and your lacy shoes and your hair up in bows, okay? That's not what feminine energy is. What feminine energy is, it's this creative flowing energy. And so why it allows you to be so successful, why it opens the doors up for you to be successful, is because feminine energy is not concerned with replicating anybody else's life, okay? It is not concerned with replicating. When you think of a creative person, right? I have a number of creative people in my life. Do they go around and they look at, let's say they look at a Van Gogh painting, right? And they're a creative person. Do they go and they try to repaint Van Gogh? If they're a creative person, no. They might be inspired by Van Gogh, but they're not going to go and try to redo Van Gogh, right? They're going to look at that, be inspired by it, and then they're going to create something of their own, okay? They're going to create something of their own. I'm going to repeat it. They're going to create something of their own that is very true to them, that is very pure to them, and that is very honest and very true to them, right? Like, it is just so purely them, all right? So, feminine energy, the energy that is creative and flowing, why does it allow you to be so successful? Because when you are operating in your feminine energy, you are allowing yourself to create something that is so specific to you, okay? It is specific to you. You are not, let's say you're sitting in a row of 5 other girls at, at your job or at school or wherever you are. You're in a row of 5 other girls. You are not concerned with how this girl's doing it, this girl's doing it, this girl's doing it, or this girl's doing it. Okay, you're going to do what is pure to you. You're going to look at how they're doing their things, right? And you're going to say, oh, that's a good idea, that's a good idea, that's a good idea. Maybe I'll pull some of those elements in there, but this is what I'm feeling is right for me. And this is what I'm feeling this is what I'm inspired by. This is what I feel is right. This is what is so purely me. This is what just, communicates my feelings. This is what communicates my passions. Okay? And so when you are an ambitious individual, like myself, very ambitious, massive dreams, massive intentions for my life, okay? Huge, okay? I was like 9 and knew that I had massive potential in my life, and I knew that I had big goals, okay? I knew that I couldn't settle for a plain Jane life. I knew that. So you have these massive goals, and how feminine energy is going to help you is that you are not going to be concerned with what the world is telling you and how the world is telling you you should be approaching and pursuing your goals. How feminine energy is going to help you is that you're going to sit there and you're going to say, this is what I'm all about. I'm passionate about this. This inspires me. This sets me on fire. And because you're feminine, you feel that so deeply. You feel that so, like, it is like your truth, okay? It is 100% you. You feel this. You know this. It's like running through your veins. You feel it. It's inspiring to you. It is setting you on fire. It is so purely you. So you know, this thing is what I'm all about. You have what you're passionate about, and then you have how you're going to do it. You have how you're going, your medium for how you're going to achieve this goal, or how you're going to acquire and reach and possess this goal in your life. Nobody's telling you that this is right. Nobody's telling you that this is how you're supposed to be achieving this. Nobody's telling you that this is what you're supposed to be doing. This just feels right. This is your intuition talking. This is you saying, yep, this is my goal, and that's how I feel like I need to do it. Ignoring all the voices in your life telling you that, oh, well, this is the 10-step plan, and this is the formula to how you need to achieve this goal and how you need to live your dream life. That has no impact on you, because no, this is right. I have no proof. I have no proof that it's going to work. I have no proof that this is going to be super successful. All I have is this feeling, and I'm set on fire by it, okay? I have this feeling that I need to be talking to you right now about this particular topic, about feminine energy and your ambition, okay? I have this feeling, and I have absolutely no proof that creating this YouTube video and putting this YouTube video out there is going to work. But I just feel in my bones. I am on fire for it. I sat down one day and I had the idea to create this video, and it was like, that's what I need to do. That's what I need to do. There's nobody in the world that has told me that I need to be doing this, that I need to be sitting right here and doing this right now. What's the world telling me? They're telling me to go get a full-time job. That's what the world is telling me to do, okay? So feminine energy allows you to know what your passion is, to know what sets you on fire. And then it allows you to be open to the different methods for how to actually attain this goal that you are set on fire to acquire. And you are basically able to tune out all these voices because you're just so on fire for this. You are so passionate about this. You feel so deeply about this, okay? You just feel it. You feel so all in about whatever it is that you are inspired to do. You are so all in about this topic, this particular thing. You're all in on it. And then the last aspect of feminine energy that I think really pulls all this together and really demonstrates the success and the actual like receiving of the success is that people are attracted to your fire, right? Whenever you see somebody out there that it's like, oh yeah, I'm just so like I'm doing this, blah, blah, blah. Like you're not drawn to them, okay? When you have a goal and you are so passionate about it and you are so on fire about it and you are just so purely like, this is right and this is my purpose and I love every aspect of what I'm doing and I am inspired by every aspect of what I am doing. People see that and they latch onto it, right? They latch on to your love and they latch on to your passion and they latch on to your inspiration. And that is how feminine energy enables you to actually acquire the goals and the success that you so deeply desire. That is how it allows you to acquire these goals without even trying. Because when you are passionate about something, sure, you're putting in the work, sure, you're putting in the time, sure, you're working hard, but it doesn't feel like, gotta do this, because you're on fire for it. You love it. You know it's right. And you just pour yourself into it and it's natural. It's natural. That is the effortless portion of feminine energy, okay? The most feminine women in the world are some of the most hardworking women in the world, okay? They're not lazy. We're not lazy people. And we're not just blubbering in the corner. No, we feel deeply and we pour ourselves out. We pour every aspect of ourselves into these things that we're passionate about. And that is why feminine women are so successful. It's because they are all in. They are all in. And it's easy to be all in because they've nailed down what they're passionate about. They've nailed down what sets them on fire, and they are willing to put forth the effort, and it's easy to put forth the effort. They don't have to try. It's not work to get up in the morning and do the things that they need to do because they're on fire for it. They're just so engulfed with passion for whatever it is that they're pursuing. So, like I've already said, it's not necessarily because, oh, I'm not working. And it's not necessarily because, oh, I just lounge about and it just like comes to me, right? Like that's not what I mean. That is not what I'm saying, okay? And I don't think that there is a feminine person out there that's going to say, oh yeah, I just do nothing and everything happens for me. Obviously, there's some people that happens. You can't deny that. But I think that the effortlessness comes from, like I was just saying, this deep-rooted passion for what you are doing, okay? So when you are just so focused on what you are so passionate about and you are just so aligned with what you are doing, like I've said, the actions you take feel effortless because you love them. You love the action you take. You love what you're doing. You are just so on fire for what you are doing. And what ends up happening is that you're not begging, right? You're not begging. You're not desperate. You're not obsessing. The only reason you are obsessed is because you just love it so much. And you just, I can't get enough of doing this thing. That's the only obsession you have, right? You don't have this obsession with, this needs to work out for me. You instead have the obsession of, I just love it. I can't get enough of talking about this thing, doing this thing, like you just love it so much. You're so passionate about it. And so that's the first part of the effortlessness. And the second part of the effortlessness, I think, is that receiving portion of feminine energy. When somebody sees your passion, when a group of people sees your passion, when, whatever, right? When you see the passion of somebody else, what do you automatically do? Well, you subscribe to that. You pay attention to that. You follow that. You engage with it, right? You don't engage with something where it's obvious that somebody's working their butt off, but they're not passionate about it. What you engage with and relate with and subscribe to are the people that it's like, they just love what they're doing. And it just comes so naturally to them. And so I think that when you are a feminine woman and you are acting out of your passion and your ambition, what you are pursuing is what you are most passionate about, and you just don't care what people think, and you are not trying to be anybody else except yourself. What ends up happening is that people just want to be around you. People just want to give you what you desire, right? Say you went to a job interview and this is your dream job and you're doing what you would love to do, but you don't go about it out of desperation. You go about it out of passion, right? You go to your interview and you are just talking about how passionate you are about this thing and how passionate you are about what you're doing. And no, you don't know everything there is to know about what it is you're interviewing to do and what it is that you're passionate about. But what you do have is enough passion to actually better yourself. You have the passion and the drive to improve yourself, right? And you have enough passion that it's effortless to improve yourself, right? I remember when I was in high school, so I was into ballet and I loved ballet and everything like that. And it was easy for me to learn something. I worked my butt off. I worked very hard, but it was easy for me to do it because I just loved it so much, right? And people could see that I loved it so much. And people liked to watch me dance because I loved it. And I was so invested and I was so passionate about it. It wasn't because I was the best dancer in the world. It was because I loved it and I was invested in it. And so when you are doing something that you love and that you are invested in, that passion and that love is obvious to everyone around you, and it is obvious to the people that you are trying to draw into yourself, right? And that is where the effortlessness comes. You don't have to try, right? Say you're starting a YouTube channel. You don't have to beg for people to subscribe to your channel. You just put the content out there that you are the most passionate about, you're the most proud of, that you are just the most on fire for, and the subscribers will come, right? Say you're trying to start a business. You're not begging for people to come to your business and buy your product and buy your services. You're not begging for it, right? You put yourself out there, you tell people that this is what you're doing, and if you are on fire about it and you are just like, I love this, right? I love this. I love what I'm doing. Then people are going to be like, oh yeah, hire her, right? Because you're on fire for it. And people see that. And people place value in your passion, right? People place a lot of value in passion and love and intention, right? If you're not passionate about something, people are like, okay, like why would I even bother doing that when they could just leave at the drop of a hat? They could just give up at the drop of the hat. They could not do the best work in the world because they're not passionate about it. When you are passionate about something, you put your best foot out there. You create the better stuff. You create the better content, the better business, the better product, the better service, whatever it is. You create better results, I'm going to say, because you are so passionate about it. I think about Taylor Swift when I think about these kinds of things, because say what you want to about Taylor Swift, but Taylor Swift is passionate. And Taylor Swift is a hard worker. And Taylor Swift, I mean, she writes a lot of music. But I think that what people resonate and why people subscribe to Taylor Swift so much is because it is obvious that she's passionate about what she's doing, right? Taylor Swift loves writing music. Taylor Swift loves creating music. Taylor Swift feels the music that she's creating, right? She stands behind the music that she's creating. And I think that she is so passionate, and she's passionate enough about her music that she's not going to stay at the same quality, right? The quality of her first album versus the quality of her last album, I don't think it matters whether or not it's like, oh, well, I like this album better. But you can tell a difference, right? Her vocals are better. The music is better. The lyrics are better. Right? You can tell. The quality of her latest album is better than the quality of her first album. Despite what you favor, you can tell that she's invested time and effort into improving because she's passionate. And that is what people subscribe to. They subscribe to the fact that she's passionate and she's feeling and she's invested in her art form and what she creates, and she's proud of it and she stands behind it, right? Versus somebody that it's like, oh yeah, like I just like, I'm pretty and I make music, right? Like you don't subscribe to that nearly as much as somebody that it's like, this is an artist and this is somebody that creates from the heart and she's doing big things and she's, right? It's different. You feel different about subscribing to that. And so the effortless success here comes from at the core, the fact that you are passionate about something and you are invested in something. And you're not trying to be anything else. You're not trying to be somebody else. You are just trying to be you. You're not even trying to be you. You just are you. And you are simply invested and passionate and pouring yourself out. And it's effortless because it is you. It's effortless because you love it. It's effortless because you are on fire for it and you want to do it. You want to do something. You want to invest this effort. You want to, you want to do these things. And it comes naturally to you because you love it, right? You love it. And so I think that, when it comes to feminine energy and being ambitious and acquiring, I'm not going to say achieving, I'm going to say acquiring, the goals that you have in your life and acquiring these, different benchmarks or these different, massive successes in your life, it all comes down to the fact that you are so purely you. You are passionate about what you are passionate about. You follow your heart. You follow your intuition. And you allow yourself to be yourself and you pour yourself out and you just are shamelessly being your authentic self. You are shamelessly allowing yourself to be creative and to be inspired and to take actions that have no proof of working, but that is right. That like this is true to me. Like this is right. Going back to Taylor Swift, do you think people were telling her to switch from country to pop? No, right? Like no. Nobody was telling her to switch from country to pop, but she did, and she's grown, right? She's grown. She did what she thought, this is right. This is what I need to do. This is what I need to do. Okay? And so you need to really identify what it is that just sets you on fire, right? What sets you on fire? Don't look at what is around you. Don't look at what is trending. Don't look at what, what all the buzz is and all this stuff. Don't look at what people are telling you to do. Instead, look at this sets me on fire. Like, I just love this. I can't get enough of this. And do that. Do that. And pursue that. And better yourself in that. Invest in that. Be all in on that. And be shameless about it. And don't allow the voices around you to tell you that, oh, that's not a good idea because it's not this or that or the other thing. No, instead allow yourself to follow your heart and to follow what means the most to you. And so I think that the last thing that I really want to touch on, just because I know that when I was a college student and graduating college and stuff like that, and like I've already said, I had this idea that being a feminine woman meant that I would be weak and that other people would believe I was weak. I think that that is all sort of in our head. I think that we have sort of fallen into the trap of, a lot of Instagram accounts that, show these pictures of success and successful women and what they look like and how they behave. And I think that we sometimes get caught up in this idea that we, like I've already said, that we need to be masculine in order to be successful, and that men and other women will think us weak if we are feminine. But I think that there is an awful lot of power in being able to feel incredibly deeply, to be able to feel what is right for you, to be able to feel deep passion and deep emotion. I think that that is very powerful, right? To be able to feel so deeply that you are overwhelmed, or to be able to feel so deeply that you can't help but to do something, right? Like you can't help but to take action. You can't help but to react, to feel that deeply. And I think that it is incredibly powerful that you are able to be specifically, like that you are able to be such a specific individual, right? That you are not required, like you don't feel the need to be within the bounds and be within the guidelines of what people say you need to be, right? I think a feminine woman is able to, like I've said, create her own reality, create who she is, and shamelessly be that. And that is very powerful, to be able to be so individualistic and to be able to be so uniquely you. And I think that there is incredible power behind that. I think that there is incredible power behind being able to receive, right? You are able to receive. Things just come to you, inspiration just comes to you. Your goals just come to you. You just receive the ability to do something. You just receive success because you are passionate. And so, I think that yes, sometimes it feels like you have to break the habit of being a masculine person. I know it's taken me a lot of work and it's taken me a lot of time to come to the conclusion that it's like, you know what? It's okay if I'm not a Stonewall Ellison, right? Like it's fine if I feel something, if I cry, maybe if I feel something really deeply, maybe if I follow my intuition. That's fine. That is the essence of being a feminine woman, and not needing permission to be yourself, not looking for permission to be yourself, but simply being yourself, loving who you are, and allowing yourself to express yourself. There is nothing weak about that, and there is nothing shameful about that, and there's nothing embarrassing about that. That, in fact, is your power. That, in fact, is purely your power. And, if you feel like people are not going to respect you as much, that's a lie. I feel like since I have become more and more feminine, people have respected me more and more and more. And I'm not begging for their respect. I'm not demanding their respect, but I simply have this aura of I require respect, right? That's a non-negotiable. Like, you respect me. Like, just respect me. I'm not begging you to respect me. I'm not begging you to bow down. Like, that's not what I'm asking for at all. It's simply this undertone of you're respected. And so I think that you don't have to, that's the beauty, again, that's the beauty of feminine energy. You don't have to force respect. You don't have to force being, intelligent or being capable or being respected or being successful. You don't have to do that. You are what you are. You are what you are naturally. And people see that because you are shamelessly who you are, and you are shamelessly doing what you are most passionate about and what you most love. And that is how you effortlessly receive your goals and your ambitions, is that you are simply radiating your passion, you are radiating what you love, and you are putting yourself out there, and you are putting yourself out there shamelessly, right? That you don't have to work hard to be yourself, and you don't have to demand that people see you a certain way. People are going to see you the way that you are, right? People are going to see that, man, like, she's super passionate about this, and she's like, that deserves respect. That deserves an applause. That deserves, some sort of recognition. You don't have to beg for it. You don't have to force it. You don't have to do any of that. When you are naturally putting out there who you are purely and who you are naturally, and you are putting yourself out there as a passionate individual that is doing what she loves, then it simply naturally demands a proper response. If you are interested in hearing more about feminine energy, I just created a video all about feminine energy and how it can help you overcome self-sabotage. So make sure you go and you check that video out. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up so I know what it is that you like to see. I love creating this kind of content and these kinds of videos, so I would be 100% willing to create more. I love you guys oh so very much, and until we meet again, so long.